Alright everyone out there in Banjo land, Mike Hedding here. I've just got a short little mini banjo lesson for you today. I wanted to go over some movable bar chord licks. So the bar chord, or the bar shape, is one of the three main chord shapes you can use around the neck. We've got the F shape, the D shape, and the bar chord shape. And the bar chord shape is probably a lot of times the first one that beginners learn because it's super easy to do and it gives you a little bit of forward movement when you first start. You make a little progress, which is really good. But sometimes if you do it, the bar chord, the same way you did it as a beginner, it'll actually kind of trap you going forward. So that's what we want to talk about for this lesson. So let's just break down the bar chord first. Let's just do it up at the 12th fret because that's where our octaves, it'll be the same notes as our G. And the absolute simplest way to do it is just to take your first finger and put it across the strings. And you'll notice my thumb kind of drops down and I'll kind of squeeze. The other thing I'll do is a lot of times maybe I'll just play the top three strings as well. You might have done that one at like the 5th fret for a C or 7th fret for a D. Very common. It's probably one of the first chords you'll learn. So that's a good way to do it. But the problem, you know, what can trap beginners is when they first learn this chord is if you do it this way, it's easier to play higher notes, you know, notes above your bar, but it's very difficult to play notes behind your bar without moving, right? Another way that I'll do the bar a lot of times is I'll use just 2 fingers or sometimes 3 fingers. So that allows me to go backwards and grab all these other notes. And I can still grab notes above. So that's a lot of times why I'll do that, okay? So let's just break that down a little bit. So let's start with just our 2 fingers up here at the 12th fret. I've got my 2nd finger on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, 3rd finger on the 12th fret of the 1st string. And basically what I always tell people when they learn a new chord or they're experimenting with a new position is just start exploring with your fingers. So, you know, you can either try 1 fret up or 2 frets or 3 frets and just kind of trust your ear. In this case, let's go up 2 frets. And we can then take our 3rd finger off and go back 2 frets. Let's go down to the 2nd string. You can go up 1 fret. Put your 3rd finger back down and then go down 2 frets. Go down to the 3rd string. Go down either 1 or 2 frets. So first thing I would do is just kind of experiment playing around with those notes. Doesn't even matter what you're doing with your right hand. You can play all with your thumb or add your other fingers. That doesn't really matter. You just want to practice moving and getting used to adding different fingers and taking different fingers off. So one easy thing you could do is like a little roll. Something like that. Again, if you did it this way, it'd be really hard to get back and grab that note behind it. You'd have to really move quick or flip to a different position. So that's why it's really good to use this. Or this lick. That's a very common bar chord lick. So I've got this shape. Again, then I do a 11-12 hammer on with my 1st and 2nd finger. And then you can go down. The other way you'll see it is going back down here, but that's going down to the D shape since we're talking bar chord. So that's our root note as well. So that little slide or hammer on. Something like that. Another super classic Scruggs lick works out of this shape. That's just a little kind of, it's almost like a piano, like kind of blues lick. So what we're doing there, I like to use my thumb and middle finger personally. Some people like to use their index and middle. I don't think it matters too much. The other thing I like to do is get a little bit closer to the neck to sweeten it up. So I'm hitting my thumb twice while sliding into that 12th fret. Doesn't really matter where you slide from. You know, you can slide from, you basically just want to get up to that 12th fret. And then I play my thumb again once I get up there. So you have, and then I kind of bounce back and forth. And then I put my pinky down. And then I play my middle finger twice. And what I would do is just get used to the position. It doesn't really matter what right hand you do. You can go, you know. That's a common one though. And then you could also add your pinky to the 15th fret. So what's really cool about the bar chords is, remember, it's a movable shape. So we could slide that either up to the 17th fret, which is normally where you'd go, or down to the 5th fret, which would be a C. So I'm going to take that whole shape and slide it up, and I can do that exact same lick. And I can slide it up 2 more to do D. That's a great classic backup lick on like a slow song, like a Banks of the Ohio, or something that kind of has like a slow swing, kind of that style. The other thing you can do with that lick is you can just apply it to whatever chords you're doing. So if I do G, C, G, D, G, or I can say I'm longer. C, G. Let's go down to the 7th fret. This would be another D. That's a big stretch there, but you can do it. That's a great lick. It's used a lot, so I would kind of, you know, pick your spots to use it, but on certain songs it's like a classic lick that it just fits perfectly. You can also do it down here. So one other lick I like to use out of this shape is another backup lick that I got from Dr. Banjo, Pete Wernick. That's a really cool lick. So this one takes 3 fingers to do, and I'm going to use my 2nd finger, 3rd finger, and pinky this time. And then you can move your 2nd finger down 1. And then I like to use my 1st finger on the 10th fret. So you get this like G, G major 7, G7, and then that leads nicely into like a C, and then like C minor or something like that. Very like Beatles-esque or something like that. Like, but you can go like. Like that can sound cool, or you can just walk it down. Again, you can do it on any of your shapes. Or right here, if you're in D. You can even walk it down 1 more. It's like a common little walk down. You got G, G major 7, G7, G6. Just like a classic. Or, again, what's cool about these movable shapes is you can apply it to the same chord. So maybe I now do it on a C, D, you could also like combine the Scruggs lick and then that little Dr. Banjo lick. So you could go like. That'd be kind of cool. That's a nice little ending lick too you can do. You can either end it. And again, all these are movable, remember. That's another one, common one. Alright, so hopefully that gives you some stuff to practice. And alright, hopefully that helps you out. Alright, good luck.